Well, hello, hello, and welcome to the space between ideas and blinkers. Wow, there's a dog outside crying. Who is that, Gordon? Is that your buddy? Who's that? Well, we better go take a look. Sorry, I was just there's a dog outside crying. Maybe it's one of Gordon's friends. Is it one of Gordon's friends? The dog's crying.
Приносят собаки,
Да.
не смотрят. Если взял, смотри, как приносят, в подъезде пускают и кричат потом.
The neighbors are open up their door the same time as me. My neighbor speaks Georgian and Russian. What are we doing here? Sorry, I just woke up, and the thing is that, like, I'm pretty excited to start this because, well, we got about 2 weeks of until our thing renews, and Gordon D, what are you doing? You want to see Gordon D? He wants to go say hi to his friend as well. Hello, Gordon D. Gordon D. He wants to go say hi to his friends outside. Isn't that right? Yeah, I know you want to go say hi to your buddy buds outside. Yeah, I know. Okay. So, what are we doing here? Let me share the screen and let's get started. Yeah, I know I look crazy, but the thing is that there's something much more important than looking crazy, which is to get the work done. And, maybe someday history will look back and say, this guy looked crazy. But that's the point. If history looked back and said that you looked crazy, that means that they looked at you. And if the work doesn't get done, then they're not looking. Hey, can you see it? Check it out, Gordon D. Task 1 is complete. SLAD 6.0 is finalized. Excellent question. Approve. Gordon D. Examine further database setup. Create feature branch. Phase 1 database. Implement scheme files using approved logical grouping. Option B. Generate a fresh migration for the new team MVP schema. Report back for review. You have green light. Proceed with task 2. I'll await your report with the drizzle schema files and the initial migration script. Okay, what we did was, we have script. Here's phase 1. All right, so here's task 1's finalize the SLAD. What is an SLAD? I'm just going to open up Windsurf in the background. Didn't it commit the changes? Ready for task 2. Questions for the architect. Should I extend the drizzle setup to understand? Now the thing is that I told my maybe it's better if I just show the whole screen. I never checked the audio. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Beautiful. All right, let's jump into the Cascade. 3 months ago. Oh, who's screaming? Is that your friend? 1 day ago. All right, there we go. PDR. So we got the product. So what we did was, maybe it's weird. Downloading update. Oh, we're going to have to read. All right. So actually, I spent some time with my good buddy Cascade. I've been using the Claude Sonnet 4.5 thinking model. Now, I used to have all of my markdown files in this section here, and I have no idea why these markdown files are in this section. If we close this, the question is, where is this file located? So if we open up, what's this outline? Okay, if we open up this file, you can see that we have docs, we have node modules, we have scripts, we have tests, and then we have website integration. Now, I have no idea what all of these documents are here, but I guess that they're for, because I know that there's a task list page, and then we have the objectives, and then we have the choose, and then we have the brainstorm. Like, are these HTML files? Uh-huh. So this is the actual website. It looks like these are the files for the actual free version of the website. And then in here we have like more specific documents. Now, if we, I used to have a bunch of like markdown files in here. I wonder what this markdown file says. Project Arrowhead, a web-based application for habit formation and task management using brainstorming and prioritization techniques. Start here, documentation index. This document, the documentation index is your primary. Is this what it is? Is this the documentation index? That one is in docs. And then there's a docs README file. This is a primary navigation document for all Project Arrowhead documentation. It uses a 3-tiered system: active, current work, living, single source of truth, and historical archives. Getting started. How new to the project? Start here. Read this entire index to understand the documentation structure. Okay. So how to find the docs? There's a how to documentation setup system. Audit. System roles. All right, so this is a bunch of internal stuff that I use. I asked the Claude Sonnet to go through all the markdown files and then to categorize them and to put them in the right place. My goodness, there's just noises all day long. Incredible. I got all these alarms to wake me up in the morning. And then the one day when I just wake up because work to do, then they still go off. Gordon, what do you think about all these alarms? Why am I reading documentation? I don't really want to read the stupid documentation. Anyway, so now inside the archives, as you can see, we got the old OMDL, the something about operations, we got PDRs, we got process documentation, we got SLAD. Remember when we first started this, project, I told you the importance of of documentation. Specifically, we started with the products requirement doc, but that wasn't it. There was more than just the products requirement doc. We had all these other docs. We built them inside of here. You see, so we had like the ARCAG 9 history. Oh, we don't need the ARCAG 9 history. Let's go into this history section. So we started with the 15. Remember, we had the 15 doc calibration system. We had some prompts, the Windsurf master prompt. Remember all these things? Wow. We built a development environment inside of Cursor and then just realized that that was not what we wanted to do. Luckily, we still have Windsurf before. Then we had it looks like our last system was a 3-tier calibration document system. All right, here it is, product requirements doc, a system logic and architecture document, operation manual and decisions manual. Then we have something called a cascade calibration doc and project operating system. Then we had these calibration docs, the end of session protocol, which was called the Phoenix protocol. With the project blueprint. It's just a lot, project sprint reviews log. All of these calibration documents we used in the past. Now, so what Cloud Sonnet 4.5 did was it put all of those calibration documents into the archive. And then if you close up the archive, then these are the current calibration docs, which I'm a little bit confused because why do we have an OMDL 11 and then we also have an OMDL 3.11.3? Or is this 11.2? Anyways, I got to restart it because what's the point? And let's look at a couple other minor details. For example, now the problem with specific look, I've used half of my credits. This Cloud Sonnet 4.5 deep thinking is uses 3 credits, which is fine because we only have 10 more days anyways, but also people are telling me that like this is the best one. It's the best one of all time. It's like, all right. And then I started doing some research. I said, okay, why is it the best one? And it says because, well, it has a deep understanding of all of your code. It can maintain context, and it's good for building apps. And I said, well, what about Gemini 2.5 Pro? And it's like, yeah, that one's really great too. It's particularly good at like fixing bugs, finding problems, and so I was like, huh. So it's kind of like a deep cleaner. You know how you have I have like this special cleaning stuff for cleaning the bathroom, and it's like acid. You can now try to a new stealth mode in Windsurf. Falcon Alpha is a powerful agentic model designed for speed. We're excited to hear that you're building with it. What's Falcon Alpha? What, the Falcon Alpha? Okay, it's saying that inside of here there's something called the Falcon Alpha. Yeah. All right, now you see this. Look at this. So you can see the Claude Sonnet 3.7 thinking is 3 credits, and the Claude Sonnet 4. Here Claude Sonnet 4.5 thinking is 3 credits. So apparently this is like the most expensive model, and also it's supposed to be the best model for like doing this kind of stuff. All right. Anyways, I don't really care. Let's get back to work. So my system, as everybody knows, I mean, it's not like anybody made it to this point in the video at this point, but we have a sprint. So where's our sprint? A sprint 9.0. This is the current sprint that we're working on. Here it is. So the epic objective is to build a foundational architecture for the team-based paid MVP, a 4-tab UI project's objective scoreboard. Rabbit Race Goal Tracker, real-time collaboration, lock-based editing, and task sync, permission system RBAC granular override, multi-tenant database with RLS, successful criteria, 10 teams successfully onboard and use MVP, phase 1, foundation, data schema, core tables, key features, deliverables. Oh, we got the push even. They've designed all the push testing, phase 2, manager headquarters. Now, I would say that, like, you can hear in my last videos, I was like explaining very clearly what I wanted in this application. I don't think that it got everything, but at least it's got like pretty much all the pieces, that the major pieces. So yeah, well, we're gonna find out if it works. Now the other thing is that oh yeah, I wanted to tell you about this. So I said, look, the architect has been assigned to direct you in all of your work. You also have the freedom to make suggestions and make choices based on your ability to have a deeper understanding of the code base and your specific strengths. You should create plans and carry out plans as necessary. Report back to architect and generally make him feel that he is an important part of the team. There are times when architect may see things differently and add necessary context and insight to the development process. He is a valued member of the team, and you should consider asking for his advice when you see the need for a second opinion or feel that there may be additional value gained from including him more deeply in the development process. And then that's why I asked those questions. It's like, okay, I'll talk to the architect. We'll see what the architect has to say. Okay, so we're gonna accept all the files. We're gonna save it. So here's, we're kicking off the sprint, and this is it. Wow, that was fun. Well, what are you gonna do while it's doing this? Yeah, well, all right. So here's all of our documentation. It's in the docs folder, strangely enough. I asked the Claude Sonnet 4.5 thinking to go through all of the docs, and then also to do some kind of like review about the software and the code base, and then we went through this whole process of making some changes to the code base. Like, let's go back a little bit. It's not in this one. Like, this is architect 11. I created a new architect. If we go back to architect 10, I was having some problems with the context of architect 10, and it kept repeating itself over and over again. So I thought, it's probably time to create a new architect. I was having a problem doing some push to the database. Actually, I can find it in a different way. Yeah, I think I actually have a copy of this. So, comprehensive markdown documentation audit. Is that where it's at? I'll conduct a comprehensive documentation audit crossing the entire project before proceeding with the housekeeping PR. This ensures that we establish a proper filing system for all documentation, not just the core files. Yeah, so we did like a. Let me just check to see if this is still working. Yeah, you see it's still working. All right. So you can see it says now creating a comprehensive audit documentation based on my analysis. I can see the current active. We have these sprints, the SLA, PRD, OMDL, auth strategy, README, something ADRs, whatever that is. Artifacts, docs. Where's docs? I don't really know what ADRs are. Billing provider Stripe checkout portal. Tenant model, individual only MVP. Subscription data model. Endpoint naming and cookie contracts. Stripe. So it's all based on stripes. Okay. Then we have the historical superseded. So all the older spread files. We got all the older SLADs, all the older PRTs, all the older OMTLs. We have got the Cascade calibration docs, the Phoenix Protocol Charter, the Project Arrowhead operating system. We got all these docs. This is our whole system. So the thing is that like the AI now can like read all these docs way faster, and it can understand the context of all these docs way faster than 6 months ago. So it's moving the docs. Then it created some. Okay, so it created a documentation audit. That's this one over here. One of these documentation audits. I actually did this documentation audit twice, as you can see. Uh, then it's deciding what are the active documents. And then here, so here's the root directory. So here's the current documentation. It created like a README file so that now the README file, I think that the first README file, as we saw at the beginning of this video, is here. So what happens is the person, they might run into this README file, like okay, so the project, they open up the project and then they see there's a README file. And then the README file says, no, you need to start in the docs. And then the AI is like, okay, I'll go to the docs. Then they go to the docs and then they find this other README file. And then this README file says, okay, good. So now you're here. This is the primary navigation document for all Project Arrowhead documentation. And then it explains that all of our in the docs area, and here they are. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm really proud of this docs situation. Now, if you need architecture, SLAD. You need requirements, PRD. You need protocols, here they are. You need current work, here it is. You need some old work, here it is. You need to see all the docs, here it is. You need the Phoenix protocol. So it gives the AI the ability to really easily read all the documentation. Now, I asked it to produce this document. I call it Code Health. Before defining the new team-based vision, let me conduct a comprehensive code audit to assess the current state, identify technical debt, and evaluate readiness for professional handoff. This will take some time. Now, let's just jump to the very end. Conclusion. Your code base is in good shape, modern, type safe, secure, and well tested for implementing features. However, there's three critical gaps must be addressed before the team model implementation. Architecture clarity, journey system fate, multi-tendency strategy, permission model, testing coverage, journey end-to-end tests, more unit integration tests, feature completeness, auth implementation, billing clarification. Bottom line, you are not starting from scratch with legacy code. You have a solid foundation, but you need architect decisions on team model architecture before continuing to develop. Otherwise, you risk building on the wrong thing or creating security holes. My assessment, ready for team model design phase, not ready for team model implementation phase yet. The audit is complete, ready for your review and architecture. So now what it says is in the audit, it had some questions for the architecture. And it also listed some very specific areas that needed to be improved. So for example, all right, let's go back into it again. So here's the executive summary. 7 out of 10. Code quality is excellent. Security is strong. Architecture is good but needs the team model clarity. Testing, good. Completeness, handoff readiness. Critical findings, current state, the 17-step journey system, well-built testing with PDF exports located here. The problem, your new vision mentions 4 tabs. Yeah. Unclear if old journey module survived to get or gets replaced. If your journey is scrapped, 30% of the code base deletion. Architect, okay, that's not really that interesting. Okay, security must be designed before implementing team features. Choose strategy. Now, tenant ID columns, PostgreSQL, SQL, separation database for team. Yes, it doesn't actually. It doesn't really know what the new software is going to look like, so it wasn't able to answer a lot of these questions. You know, the result of this was really crazy. It made like 6,000 edits. Architecture analysis. Modern tech stack, React 18, TypeScript, Vite, Drizzle, ORM, Tailwind, CSS, Cloudflare pages, end-to-end TypeScript. Drizzle provides this. No any types found in code. OWASP, best practices, bcryptis, password hashing, XSS protection, CSRF, origin check plan, Cloudflare access for admin panel, Playwright end-to-end with CI/CD, Vite unit integration, production testing capacity, clean component structure, logical file naming, clear separation of concerns, no obvious codes, weakness, no structured logging, no error tracking, no so it added all these things. These Winston, the Sentry, and the performance monitoring. Documentation, external docs, excellent. Missing arrowhead, readme, explain code base for new devs. Architectural diagram in code. Scalability unknown. No query caching layer. No session cleanup automation. No load testing. Here it is planned. JWT. Session cookies. CSRF origin checks. Rate limiting. Optional TOTP MFA. Gaps. User authentication not yet implemented. Team permission model not designed. No brute force protection yet. There you go. So it did this. In fact, I asked it to, okay, go ahead and do everything. So yeah, so we had to answer these questions, and then after we answered those questions with this guy. Yeah, we had to stop with the Stripe. So I guess this was before Stripe. Yeah, we had some problems pushing it, but then we made some changes, and then everything worked. Well, I don't know what this video is going to be about, actually, because the thing is that you know, the next couple of days are, I mean, because everything is in the SLAD and in the sprint. And I'm just gonna be copying and pasting. So once this guy he finishes this, then I'm gonna paste it over here, and then he's gonna like paste it back over here, and then I'm gonna paste. It's just gonna be back and forth and back and forth. How many times can I do it? Like I got, I got 235 left, so I can do it 70 times. So how many times is that per day? Let's say it's 10 times per day, then that's the next 7 days. So I need to do at least 10 times per day because, we got 11 days. 11 days covers how many Sundays? One Sunday. So that means I got 10 days. November 8th. So 10 days, 70. Yeah, so got to do at least 7 per day, at least 7 of these requests per day for the next 10 days. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll see you in 10 days because I don't think you're going to want to watch me do this. This is the thing. Like, it was so interesting because like there were things we had to solve, we had problems we had to solve, we had things we had to figure out. Where like we had to try to how do we help the AI, help the AI help me, And now we got to the point where it's like, yeah, the AI does everything. The AI does everything. We don't have to do anything. All the code is organized. All the docs are organized. The language models, they understand the code. Everything's connected. Here's the paid version. Or no, here's the free version of my app. If you want, you can just go to projectarrowheadpages.dev and you could play with it. So what's next for me now that we have like a clear site to having a paid MVP? So then the next stage is I have to start doing the marketing messages. And I really feel like this situation with Windsurf has been really positive. Obviously, we've gotten to the point where the chatbot can build the thing which I wanted to build, and so I have the tool that I really wanted and loved, and like this is the actual tool I want to use for my own projects. And then I also have the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker. I didn't add the Rabbit Race Goal Tracker to the free version of the app yet, but I completed the design of the paid version. Once all of this software is completed, then what am I going to do? Well, so the paid version of the app, how is it different than the free version? The free version of the app, this page here, this is the journey page inside of the app is going to be the objectives tab. The objectives tab is where we create very specific objectives. And the objectives are housed within projects. All right, so this is connecting us back to our Notion page. Why is our Notion page missing? This connects us back to our Notion page. All right, so Vortex, we got a Rabbit Race Goal Tracker in here. Okay. So I mean, okay, so I guess generally speaking, you could say that we have 3 projects. We have product development, we have some back office issues, and then we got some marketing messages. In fact, I don't like the way that this looks. I want marketing messages to be on the right-hand side. There. Oh, that feels better. So to some extent, you could say that each of these are a project, And inside of the paid version of the app, there's going to be a project page. And then on the project page is the team page. And on the team page, you can add up to 10 team members. And you can create a virtual team member. And the virtual team member is basically if you're using an AI chatbot and then you want to add your AI entity into your team, then you just put them into your team. There's 10 lines where you can add team members. So this gives the manager the ability to understand exactly who is on there. And then when they're using AI to help them with different tasks, like I could put Windsurf as one of my team members, and then I could make a project called product, and then we could talk about like what are we so right now we're just building the project in general. Like we're building our software from scratch. And but then in the future, what's going to happen is like we're going to start people are going to start using it. I talked to one dude yesterday, a couple days ago, and he's like a software engineer, and he's all like, well, it's good for. He was so negative. He's like, well, this is good for for an MVP, but you can't actually run your business with AI writing your code in the background. And I was like, hmm? Like, why not? I mean, you might as well get used to this stuff right now because the AI is here for good. It's not going nowhere. So, like, just get used to it. Well, okay, but you can't run if you have zero understanding of code. Then it means like, what happens if there's a problem that you can't solve? I don't know. That's a good question. What happens if there's a problem I'm not solving? I mean, honestly, every single thing you see here is these are all problems that I couldn't solve. So, like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, what you can't solve? I literally have everything solved through AI. So wouldn't I just use the same process? So and chat and the models are only going to get better. With the current model, I can already build the thing which I want to build. And then okay, so what happens in the future? You're going to have some problem. Oh, what's the problem? What's the problem? You're gonna get a ticket. Okay, you get the ticket, and then what? And then I copy and paste the ticket into what Windsurf, and I say, "Hey, look, I got this ticket. Why do you think this ticket is? Where did this ticket come from?" And then it'll search the code, and then it'll solve the ticket, and it'll say, "Oh, this is why you have the ticket." And I'm like, "So what are we gonna do about it?" Like I'm a manager. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like if I know what's going on. Okay, so well, if you go back to like remember those Meta fire like those layoffs at Meta and like the concept when all these tech companies they were all firing people. And in the news they're saying, well, the reason they're firing everybody who isn't like directly working on a project, like who isn't directly affecting. It means that if you're just managing people, but you're not actually making something yourself, then they remove those people. So then I guess that means like a lot of people got promotions if they were the actual hands-on person doing the work, and then they're no longer the person who's making the no, and then they became the person who's both doing the work and making the decision. Which yeah, it's great. Okay, but the thing is that the team I'm working with, you could say that like Windsurf is one of my team players, as I just mentioned. But Windsurf can't be the manager because Windsurf is a tool. So I'm the actual person doing the job. I'm the one doing the work. I'm directing the process. But because the tool is smart, it means that your tool user has to be a manager. And you have to have the skill of management in order to use the tool. I am the product owner. I'm the product manager. I'm the project manager. And I've been using uh, Gemini 2.5 Pro and Windsurf in tandem to be able to drive this project to completion. Okay, now that's the product. So now that you've got the product pretty clearly underway for like how you're going to build the product, what's going to happen when you actually have the working product? Well, the same thing I'm doing right now. You see down here in the Kevin O'Leary signal, competitors business growth engine. I did that. emails for video series. It did that. Set up the lead magnet. Finish the blog page. I mean, this is like, it's kind of done-ish. Superbase Cloudflare. Get the blog page, set up the blog page, the pro version. So we're now working on the pro version. That's what we kicked off. Now, once we have the pro version, then we're no longer going to be using this sorry. All right, let's just open up our 100 tasks. What is it? Complete the competition matrix. Local creatives pro. All right, so we're still on this page as far as the 100 tasks list. Now, the competition matrix, the deeper and deeper I go into this concept of competition, I think we're going to go to Vortex. All right, let's take a look at this. In fact, let's just listen to, I mean, you're not going to get any more information from the windsurf. So let's change the view of the window.
Excellent. This is a powerful and comprehensive strategic analysis. This document is not just information, it is our strategic Bible for the next phase of the project. Your question is, what am I supposed to do with this? The answer is, we use it to sharpen our every move. This report validates our core assumptions and gives us the precise language and direction needed to build a winning brand and product. Here is a breakdown of the critical signals from this report and the immediate actions we need to take. Key intelligence, the signals from the noise. This report provides a massive amount of data, but 4 key findings stand out as most critical for our marketing strategy. Frameworks are commoditized, workflows are not. The report confirms that offering a simple SWOT template is a dead end. The real value, and our competitive advantage, lies in providing a guided workflow that connects analysis to action. The actionability gap is our #1 opportunity. The single biggest unmet need in the market is the disconnect between brainstorming and execution. Our product's ability to bridge this gap is our killer feature. We're in the Goldilocks zone. The market is split between unguided blank canvases, Miro, and overly complex expert tools, Analytica. Our target audience of mid-market project managers is underserved. Lucidchart is our role model. Their content-driven, CO-fueled, product-led growth, PLG, model is a proven, winning strategy for this market. How this refines our content strategy. This intelligence doesn't change our path, it paves it with gold. It validates our specialist path and gives us a more powerful way to talk about what we do. We don't sell frameworks, we sell action. Our content will relentlessly focus on the actionability gap. Every blog post, every email will highlight how Project Arrowhead is the only tool that takes you from a vague idea to a fully formed project plan in Asana or Jira. We don't offer a canvas, we offer guidance. Our marketing will lean heavily on the guidance gap. We'll position ourselves as a digital facilitator or a consultant in a box, contrasting our guided modules with the intimidating blank canvas of our competitors. The Action Bridge is our hero. The report gives us the perfect name for our most unique feature. The Action Bridge, the seamless integration that turns a SWOT analysis into a Jira epic, will become the hero of all our product marketing. Immediate next steps. This report gives us everything we need to move forward with extreme clarity. Here's what we should do now: officially adopt our position. We should formally adopt the recommended market position, the actionable decision hub for project and team management. This should become the guiding principle for all our marketing copy. Refine our brand DNA. We were already working on a list of 50 questions to define our brand DNA. We should now revisit those questions with this report in hand. The trusted advisor, personality, and the outcome-focused messaging, turn analysis into action, are the perfect starting points. Create a pillar blog post on the actionability gap. Our next piece of content should be an article that directly addresses this pain point. It could be titled something like, Your SWOT Analysis is Thought Leadership Form.
The situation. What happened with Lucidchart is I went into my Gmail and then I put in Lucidchart up here. I found that I had one email from 2019 from Trevor, and he was like, "What's up, brother? Here's a link to Lucidchart, a flowchart template platform that I believe offers a free version. Give the template a look and see. Let me know." In my mind, I see do direct outcomes, talking about direct outcomes, following something like a flowchart set against a tripartite column background to encompass the depth of the checklist. The sample template offers the best mirror for what I see. And then, well, the thing is that like when I click this, it doesn't actually work. Like the Lucidchart links, they don't have it anymore. Oops, it did something. Then there's a process map. Because some kind of template gallery with over 1,500 customizable templates. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like both in Lucidchart and also in Mira, you have these templates where like this is like, well, this is the template I'm designing. All right, so you have like an empty canvas, and then Lucidchart is kind of the same. It gives you this empty canvas where you can build anything as far as like, I don't know, like what's a BPMN collaborative diagram? What's a programming code flowchart example? What's a work breakdown structure template? Here's agile development. Here's a Kanban board with smart container example. So now, like the thing is, I have a lot of experience thinking about these things because I'm thinking about these things. I'm talking to people literally every single day to try to figure out what's the best structure for planning and what are the principles behind project management and like what is this all about and like what is your structure going to look like. I got to tell you, the most difficult thing is getting people to use something, getting people to use the actual methodology. So I mean, I suppose there must be lots of people that are using this, otherwise they wouldn't have a business. But then on the other hand, like there's no such thing as like one there's two things that do not work in this environment. First of all, you have to have somebody who deeply understands all of these different flowcharts and the differences between them and like what they mean and then when to apply them. And I've been thinking about this stuff for 10 years. Maybe I'm not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but like it's not easy to understand all these different thinking tools and thinking methodologies and then to structure them for a project. Like even if you have a project and then you're like, okay, I understand how the project works. Okay. Now, can you use one of our templates or for that specific project? It's like, I don't know. Because like how many of these templates do I have to learn before I'm able to understand which one specifically can be used for our project? It's like it's a lot of learning. Oh, I guess I wasn't showing you the right screen. Here's Lucid. So this is the Lucid template gallery with 1,500 customizable templates, create flowcharts, technical diagrams, plans, brainstorming activities, and much, much more. Is that your selling point? It's like, okay, I don't know. Like, let's look at the customer stories. 100 plus million innovators use Lucid. Incredible. Here's the user stories. Remember, actually, I think I may have looked at this in the past. You know what I'd like to do is I'll just click one by one, click on all these user stories, and then I'm going to copy and paste them into AI. I think I did that. Didn't we do this? Didn't I talk about this before? So what I can do is I can create a Google Notebook, and then inside the notebook, I can copy and paste all of these stories. Or I could just create one document. I can copy and paste all these stories, put it into one document, and then ask, like, what's common about these stories? What's different about these stories? How am I going to use these stories to help understand my own product and how I should be working with my customers? And then they say Analytica is, and it sounds like Analytica is even more intense. Oh, it's definitely more intense. Lab automation. It's a consulting company, and they're using a tool. All right. But it's not actually talking about Lucidchart. It's talking about their content strategy. See, maybe I think we've talked about this before, where like my understanding of like what's I call it my product launch roadmap. Whenever I get back to the product launch roadmap, then we get to the Porter's three forces. And then once we have the Porter's three forces, the established competitors were Monday.com and ClickUp. But now I don't think that's true anymore. I mean, it is to some extent. That's a good point. 2 rows below. So when we talk about scoreboard, like when it talks about brainstorming, then the question is who's helping you to understand the objectives and what you should pursue. And I would say in that case, let's go with Lucid. That literally took me months and months and months. And Analytica took me months to figure out who my competitors were. Incredible. Okay, so the point is that the next stage of the project, what we're doing is that we have to start creating marketing messages. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to do. But I would say in general, to create code, I'm starting to get the picture that in video is kind of the way to go as far as this is kind of like where I think that we're headed. But I guess we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to stop the video here and we'll see the next one.